We are here at Times Square today, and there are 150 organizations that have come together. At least 100 of them are non-Muslim organizations in support of Muslims, saying today that I am a Muslim too.
Let us say it together. Today we are all Muslims. Thank you.
I am Muslim.
Why protest some mosque in Connecticut that hasn't done anything wrong? There's not some terror plot that you've uncovered.
I understand exactly what you're talking about, and what's the problem with us? We're not protesting anything. We're proclaiming the truth, that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father but by Him. And
would it be all right with you if Muslims came to your house of worship routinely and yelled at you and said,
"A beautiful daughter. I have a wonderful 19-year-old son who's a United States Marine. As a matter of fact, I know quite a few Marines who will be very happy to help these terrorists to an early meeting in paradise."
Once in a while they do. Unprovoked attacks on civilians are quite common in Iraq and Afghanistan. At home, these attacks are in the shape of racial slurs, hostile talk, prejudice, mugging, harassment at work, and educational institutes, making it very difficult for a common Muslim to exist. Unless it is a big number, murders don't get much publicity. And here is an elected congressman encouraging people to demonize others. I believe he does not realize that racism is still a problem in our country.
To give you a flag and to say, I am proud of you, I'm proud of what you're doing, I'm proud of this country and what we believe in, and let's not...
Americans as the source of homegrown terrorism, and not to examine all forms of violence. That, my friends, is an injustice.
The enemy is not Islam or Muslims. The enemy is extremism and radicalism. And we ask Congressman King to make this be hearings about radicalism and not about Islam and Muslims.
Not the right way to do it. There are so many other productive things we can do to work with Muslim Americans and people of other faiths to make our city and our country a safer place. So let's begin there and not a McCarthy-style
So we should work
hearing.
with the people who have been helping us for a long time, such as the ACLU, United for Justice and Peace, and dozens of peace organizations. As Muslims, we should stand for justice against anything, including animal rights, and especially against polluters of our environment.
And this nation, for all its hopes and all its boasts, will not be fully free until all its citizens are free.
And we should not forget to protect our own children by opposing the fascist attack against our identity. Unlike communism, our Constitution encourages us to practice whatever faith. As Muslims, we can offer solutions to lots of serious problems, namely as how to be happy without intoxication, or how to make racism history. If we are not going to defend ourselves, no one else can defend us. Even Allah will not change the conditions of people until they change their conscience, help themselves. These are the words of Allah, and as you know, it is as certain as tomorrow's sunrise. The same way this time, on 9th of April, we are going to be picketing in New York. Please postpone every event and join us there. Every person's presence counts. And we do not have any second choice anymore. Stand up for the right cause even if you are the only one standing, said Mahatma Gandhi. We are privileged to be living in a country where liberty has been achieved by struggle. To be dissident is American. A local boy in Utah, Tim DeChristopher, followed the steps of Henry David Thoreau and John Muir. He put a bid for a large piece of land in auction to stop it from being drilled for oil, to save our environment.
Everything wrong inside that building tried to convince me that I was alone and that I was weak. They tried to convince me that I was like a little finger out there on my own that can easily be broken.
reminder for all of us that I wasn't just a finger all alone in there, but that I was connected to a hand with many fingers that could unite as one fist. And that fist cannot be broken by the power that they have in there. That fist is not a symbol of violence. That fist is a symbol that we will not be misled into thinking we are alone. We will not be lied to and told we are weak. We will not be divided, and we will not back down. That fist is a symbol that we are connected and that we are powerful. It's a symbol that we hold true to our vision of a healthy and just world, and we are building the self-empowering movement to make it happen. All those authorities in there wanted me to think like a finger, but our children are calling to us to think like a fist. And we know that now I'll have to go to prison. We know that now that's the reality. But that's just the job that I have to do. That's the role that I face. And many before me have gone to jail for justice. And if we're going to achieve our vision, they'll after me will have to join me as well.
Malcolm X and Islamophobia of Cairo have changed the history of the world by starting a movement against a powerful system.
Never say there's no hope. So long you come down with us, there will be hope. Do not be afraid of government. Fear only Allah. Allah says, Allah will not change the conditions of people until they change what is in themselves. Don't think you'll be safe anymore. None of us are.
We are on the right path. We have lots of friends. Our constitution demands from us to stand for truth and justice, and Allah has promised us that once we stand up for a just cause, no one can stop us. Please postpone everything for 9th of April, and let's go to walk like an Egyptian. As long as we have goals, persistence, sincerity and kindness, even with our opposition, we will be the winners in the end. To be or not to be, that is our choice. Please choose to be. There is no time for waiting. The time to start is now. Now.